So, Fear the Walking Dead. Not as great as The Walking Dead, but it'll suffice just as I'm able to see new episodes of The Walking Dead, because I can't get enough of that show. Fear the Walking Dead, Season 1. For future reference, I will have the video covers displayed on the screen at some point. I'm not that experienced yet. It's only my second video, so bear with me here. Season 1 was good to say the least. Just so you know, I've already seen episodes 1 through 3 like 3 times before I watched this season, the whole season, and I've already seen seasons 4 and 5. Not a good thing to do, but I couldn't get the first 3 seasons at first, so I just watched 4 and 5 because the first 3 weren't available at the time. But now I have them all, except I'm really waiting for the 6th season because that's when the stuff goes down. But the first season, it was pretty good to say the least. There are a few things I didn't like within the season, but it is, I would say, it's just as good as The Walking Dead. So far, it's good for us. At least season 1 is. It's just as good as season 1 of The Walking Dead. Although I did enjoy season 1 of The Walking Dead better because it was just really exciting at the time. And season 1 of Fear the Walking Dead just, I kind of knew what to expect, but some unpredictable things that I did not expect to see in season 1 of Fear the Walking Dead is this before I say this, there will be minor spoilers in this because it is 5 years old, but I'm not going to spoil the main plot point of I'm not going to spoil like who dies and what exactly happens, but I will touch on some things. And I will talk about some events that happen, which could be open to spoiler territory, so be aware of that. So the plot of the show focuses on this family in Los Angeles, California, while in The Walking Dead, you saw the zombie apocalypse through the eyes of Rick Grimes, who woke up from a coma in Georgia. And so the zombie apocalypse had already taken place, like a couple months before. And Fear the Walking Dead, it opens right at the start of everything. So you get to see everything, how it plays out, and how people react to the panic of everything around them. So the opening shot of this show, it's one of my favorite openings of any show. So it starts with this guy named Nick, who is the son of the main character in the show, who is Madison Clark, which is his mother. So Nick, he's a drug addict, and the opening shot is he wakes up in this abandoned church, which is, they call it the what do they call it? They call it I can't remember everything from the show, but it was this abandoned church where drug addicts hang out to, shoot heroin and use whatever their drug of choice was. So Nick wakes up from sleeping after he's used, and he's looking for what we as the viewer assumes to be his girlfriend, or he calls her a friend later on, but the watcher knows there's something going on. But he walks downstairs, and then he finds Gloria, which is the name of his girl. She is a walker, and she's eating some other guy in the church, and he sees this, and you can see from his point that he, I bet he's thinking that he's going crazy. So he just runs away, which is what any normal person would do, right? Not me, because I would, I would know exactly what it was. Just call me stupid anyway. But he runs away from her into the street, gets ran over, and then we find him in the hospital. And they tell his family that, and then they go there, and then he tells them what he saw, and basically, and then the father goes to the church, and then doesn't find anything, finds blood, and finds some evidence of some stuff happened there, but doesn't really find anything. It could just be, bad stuff that happens, or drug addicts, hang out. It's a bad place. More bad things happen. But from there, you just see it come together so smoothly and over the span of the first three episodes, you just see the breakdown of society. And after the first episode, it goes quick from there, and the family goes back home, and then after the third episode, in the fourth episode, that's where, so the end of the third episode where they come back from danger, they're back at their house, and so it ends right there. It ends with the military being there. And so the fourth episode is where now 9 days have passed since things started to break down. So, and the whole neighborhood around is like fenced up because the military have been there. They've been preparing and set up safety. Well, safe for now, because you know how the being safe goes in zombie shows like this. But this is where the show tries to focus the viewer in on seeing the dissension between the people and the military, because there's conflict, because it's kind of turning, it's not a democracy anymore, but the military, or at least the commander of the platoon or whatever, he's a dick, and you could tell. And so events happen that lead our group to have to get out of the situation and just leave. You know how those things goes. Place doesn't become safe anymore, so you just have to skedaddle. I'm not going to say any more about that, what happens next, because that all of them getting out of there, it's all about takes place in the 5th and 6th episodes. So, and it makes for a really great finale when it comes to the end of it. And now I'm going to talk about a little bit of the few minor details that happens throughout the season. Well, I only want to talk about a couple maybe. But before I get to those, I said father earlier on when I was talking about Nick, the drug addict. It's not his father, it's the stepfather. I should have said that earlier, but yeah, whatever. So the dialogue in this season, it's mostly good for the most part, but every show has their lines or their scenes of dialogue where it just, who wrote this, And this season, of course, is no stranger to things like that. And there's this one scene where it's not necessarily the dialogue. I just think it's a pointless scene. It's where the daughter of the Madison Clark, who is the main character of the whole show, she's the Rick to this show, as Rick was the main character in The Walking Dead. So, but her daughter and her boyfriend, so the stepfather, the stepfather's son and her daughter are hanging out in this house, and they're getting to know one another, kind of. They already knew each other, but they're just hanging out in this house. They're talking. They're just trying stuff on because it's not their house, and it's an abandoned house. It's more like upper wealthy class people live there, so they're richer than they were, and they did pretty good for themselves. But they were richer than they were, and they were just playing around with their stuff and all that. And then when a few minutes later, I was fine with them doing all that. That was all good. But then it just what I don't like about this scene is when they start. There's some dialogue that happens. It's just okay, yeah, and then they just start whacking stuff around the house. They just tear stuff up, and I just didn't see the point in that. Like, a lot of shows, they're trying to make teenagers look like they're always reckless, and they're always just don't care about stuff, and they just want to wreck shit up. And so it's a pointless scene. It adds nothing to the story. Maybe character development, but making the kids act like dicks to the house. They might be gone, but still, it's freaking stupid, in my opinion. You might, or whoever watches this, whoever wants to watch this stuff, you're crazy, but you might like it. I could do without it, but that's one of the only negatives that I would talk about within the show. But overall, this show is it's my favorite season of Fear the Walking Dead so far. I still gotta watch 2 and 3. Season 4, we'll get to those. Yeah, I want to do this in order from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, of course. But yeah, we'll get to that. So I'll talk about those seasons later. And I also want to talk about The Walking Dead, because that show is just mesmerizing. It's my favorite show on TV. Fear the Walking Dead, it's right with The Walking Dead because it's The Walking Dead 2.0. So also, I'm really looking forward to the new spin-off version of The Walking Dead called Walking Dead World Beyond. I really want to see that, and maybe I can review it sometime whenever it comes out. It may already be out, but I haven't looked at the news on that or whatever, so So to end this video, I guess that's all I had to say. When I watch this back again, I might just not even, this review might suck because, my first review of a show. So first YouTubers' videos are always bad. So I'm going to end this video by recommending Fear the Walking Dead. That you should watch it, I guess, if you're into zombie movies and dramas, because that is what it is. It's a heavy drama. Not heavier than 13 Reasons Why, though. It's not that emotional. But it's still a good show with some intensifying moments. So I would recommend it if you watch it. If you want, watch it with some friends. And if I had to rate the show on a number scale, no, not number scale. I'm going to do this on a letter grade scale. I would give this show a B. Yeah, just a solid B. So yeah, and that's what I'm going to do for movies and TV shows as well. I'm going to give them a letter grade because I just feel like that's the best way to do. I might accompany it along with some quirky saying. Kind of like Jeremy Johns, who is one of my favorite reviewers on YouTube of movies. So I may not steal from him that idea. Just, he inspires me. That's what I'll say. I'm bullshitting, but that's what I'll say. Alright, so I've been rambling on for too long, so bye everyone. Hope you enjoy this. And I hope you love me so far. So bye, and I'll end on that weird statement. It took me 2 hours to put all of this, to record and put all of this crap together. So, I hope you enjoy it. I rewatched it. I'm boring. Don't care. At least, not yet. I will improve. If I don't, someone shoot me through the internet waves. What the hell did I just say? Internet waves? Really? That's the best I could think of. Well, as good a time as any for suicide.